I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back is getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry.
Listeners and viewers, this is the Faison View Podcast, back with another episode 177 here, man. You already know, usually I have my bracelets in front of me. Man, I'm just updating the collection, getting things right for you guys. Hey, got brand new drip, bracelets, anklets. Hey, it's color power all day, man. Bracelets, necklaces. Make sure, man, you put your money where your mouth is and really support our black-owned businesses out here, man. That will always be below. You already know how that goes. Color power, you already know. Get your necklaces, bracelets, anklets, everything you need, man. Let's get it. So, man, today, man, it's a real important podcast, just like every podcast, man, up in the ante, really using my platform for something positive, something good each and every episode. I won't fail to do so. And just like every episode, man, I'm going to talk about things that's going on currently with the movement, with just Black Lives, with everything overall. I'm going to get into it. So, man, first we have on the top of the list right now the updates on the BLM movement, man, the Black Lives Matter movement, man. We want to continue to keep on staying strong and keep the same narrative, keep the same energy throughout the whole process. Because guess what, Breonna Taylor, she still has her incident report. It was blank the last time we looked at it, but she has a law written in her name about entering in with warrants, entering somebody's house and things of that nature. Guess what? Nobody's been arrested in that situation. George Floyd situation, one of the other officers, I think two of the officers got out on bond. It's a lot. We have to unpack, and we got to continue to push the narrative and really use our platform for good. Secondly, I want to talk about J. Cole's new project, new song. I mean, not project, but new song, Snow in the Bluff. And it was real controversial for a lot of people, and I don't understand why, but I'm going to talk about that. Thirdly, we're going to talk about Beethoven. Was he black or was he not, man? We're going to get into that. Fourthly, the most important topic to me in this episode is colorism within the black community. I really want to get into that and talk about that. Something that really bothers me and just frustrates me every time it's brought up. And lastly, man, you already know, man, I shake it up and get it to y'all, man. Would you rather be told a pretty lie or be told the ugly truth? I know that might be cliche, but hey, I want to know what you guys are thinking as well. So, man, first and foremost, man, Black Lives Matter, man. Every single day, man. We need to keep on pushing the narrative, like I say, every podcast, and we will, is just solely off the fact that we have to take advantage of the opportunity we have to bridge the gap. I don't know if you guys know, and if you're not aware, between this last week or two, it's been five hangings in which they said it was a suicide, in which we know it wasn't a suicide. 5 hangings. Hanging of our black brothers and sisters. So at the end of the day, we need to continue. Anything else other than that is a distraction. And that's just really what it is. It's a distraction. No justice, no peace. And I will also be telling you guys, man, to shop black on too. With the shirt I got on, it says walking testimony, man. I'm going to make sure you get that information below. And the clothing line will be below, man. Like, we're going to push the narrative. We're going to put our black money back into our black economy. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. So, man, just updates on it, man. Like, it's just sickening, man. It's sickening. And I need everybody that has a platform to use their platform for something positive and talking about change and getting things done in our community. Our voices matter. Our voices matter. You don't just be on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you have, just spilling what you got going on. Because at the end of the day, you matter. And when you walk out the house, you don't know what is going to happen to you or what's going to go on and what's happening right now. Our police is not protecting and serving us. We need to defund the police because guess what? At the end of the day, they work for us. I don't think a lot of people realize that they work for us. These taxes that are taken out, they're going to the policing our our communities, but guess what? They're also killing our black sisters and brothers in our communities. So what do we need the police for if they're going to continue to kill us when they're not there to protect and serve? Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Let's get them defunded, because that needs to happen. And no, I don't feel like it's a better thing to have everyone policing themselves. I feel like it would be chaotic. But guess what? If the police are not doing their job, we can at least put that money back into things of matter and things of change within the community. It's all about change, and it's all about elevating, man. So I really want to just discuss too what recently just happened in Georgia as well, in Calverton County. It was 16s. I think they were taking a shortcut. They could have been acting up. They could have been being bad. I don't care what anybody says, because I had a lot of views on of different views coming to me when I was discussing this, and it was 16s. I think they were probably around the age of 13 to 16, no less than 13 to 16. And this white officer probably got a call, or probably just disturbance, or they cutting through the grass, or they running through the grass, and they doing this and that. Okay, cool. You draw a gun on teenagers. You draw a gun on teenagers. You can't tell me it's logical. Yes, I do know that certain age groups, they act out, they do certain things, whatever the case may be. But you telling me all these other races and Caucasians and all different type of races at their age and teenager age, they're not doing anything as well? But it has to be the black teen that's they're doing something, they're carrying a gun, or they're doing wilding and doing something. You're pointing a gun out on teenagers, and maybe younger than teenagers as well, while their hands are up, looking at you, mercifully looking at you and scared. While their parents scream, don't do this. You have your gun drawn. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Make that make sense and make it be logical in this situation. It's not logical to me, because you're there to protect and serve. If nobody is a threat to your life, you should not be drawing your gun at all. And that's why it is our problem in America with policing, because it takes 21 months of training for you to become a police officer, or less time. But in these other countries, it takes about 3 to 5 years. It takes about 2 years. It takes about 4 years for them to be completely equipped to even be out on the field, nevertheless than been doing paperwork. They should not be having badges to protect and serve the community when they're also killing the people in our community. It looks purposeful now. It looks like it's on purpose. It's been on purpose. I'm just saying, now that George Floyd, the situation has come out, and now the Breonna Taylor situation, Ahmaud Arbery, this is looking forced. They're doing this on purpose. They're trying to kill us off as sports. And that's what it looks like. But you got all these Karens and Kens out here that have something to say in outrage. I don't know how ignorant you have to be to not understand that our lives matter. We are human beings. You look at us in this certain way, in this certain type of manner, but the real thugs, and which I said before, the real thugs and animals are on display now. You're coming to up to our homes, walking, not as neighbors, just coming up to us, making complaints, saying this and that. We're tired. And I'm going to tell you, as my hat exemplifies, if there's not any justice, it won't be any peace. It won't be any peace. And I forgot to speak on in the UK when what happened recently, and they had a big protest, and an anti-protester got in the middle of in a scuffle with protesters for the Black Lives Matter movement, and somebody of color, a black person, guess what? Got him out of that situation because he was going to get jumped and he could possibly have died, and he was anti-protest and he was against the Black Lives Matter movement. And it shows you that throughout all the things that we're going through, we have a heart. And for you to have us oppressed for 400 plus years and not understand what we're going through is simply ignorance. It's ignorance at best. And it's ignorance to the ones who have taught you that, and your ancestors as well. Because guess what? They taught you that. And now, guess what? This is systematically oppression. And we're continually going through that. And we don't just go through systematically oppression with police brutality. We go through it within schooling. We go through it within location and where we live. We go through it every single day, no matter what you can say or what, in the workforce. Cut off your dreads. I don't like the way you look. I don't like your appearance. It's sickening. So what I need us to do is use our platform, utilize it, put monies into our Black-owned businesses, and try to build our own economy. Because guess what? It's going to end up that way anyway. It's going to end up like that anyway because we need our own. We need to say something is ours, ownership. We shouldn't have to wake up in the morning and go support and go put money into all these businesses and corporations that monetize off our Black dollar and don't give a, they don't care about us. They don't. All you Starbucks lovers, like, I'm not trying to call you out, but they showed their true colors. You can't wear Black Lives Matter merchandise. You can't do this. You can't do that. I'm speaking out for what I believe in. That's one of my amendments. You can't tell me what I can't do and what I can't wear regarding to my background and what I'm going through right now currently. So allow these people to keep speaking up and showing their true colors. We need to take advantage. We need to take advantage of what's going on. And to just lead perfectly into my next segment about J. Cole's new song, we have to be transparent. We have to be willing to learn and educate one another. And I say learn first because just because I'm talking and just because I know a lot about what's going on does not mean I'm fully educated and I'm doing things that I can be doing. At the end of the day, I can still be doing more in which what I'm doing now. It's still a learning process. I'm still not where I want to be when I'm talking about and regarding into us moving forward as a people. I have to be about the change as well. I have to learn and really just take everything in. And like I said before, I have a great father figures, amazing father figures I talk to as well. Not just father figures, but I'm saying that in an example to what I'm saying. I have a grandfather that I talk to all the time just about these matters. I have a father I talk to and mother. I have family I talk to about these matters. But particularly my grandfather is one as well. And just really just speaking on really him just educating me and just telling me more about what he went through in these times and what's going on and how it's so polar, like, and so parallel, it doesn't make any sense because it's the same thing. History only repeats itself. But the only thing about back then, it wasn't recorded as it is now. And it's even sicker now because it's recorded and we're still not getting justice. So it's always room to learn. And with J. Cole's song, going into my next topic, J. Cole's song is called Snow on the Bluff. In this song, it was very detailed, it was very emotional, it was very heartfelt. And I love the song. I'm going to put it to you right then and there. But what J. Cole is doing, and if you do not know the history of J. Cole and his music, do your research. And this is what this podcast is about, doing your research and educating yourself. Because I feel like in the social media era, everybody just wants to agree and be the yes man to somebody else's comment and whatever is most popular and say it. So people, oh, well, J. Cole canceled, J. Cole did this, J. Cole, I don't think he should be doing this. And what J. Cole was simply saying in his song, it was really addressing the elephant in the room. And in particular, he was talking about this person named No Name, who was on Twitter just expressing her views. Very intelligent person as well. And he said that all in his song. You know, no downing our black brothers nor sisters. He was just saying that at the end of the day, he felt like he can do more. And what she was saying within her tweets about certain people who have this power and who have these platforms and make this type of music, but you don't see them out on the front lines, or you don't see them making the change that needs to be made, or moving the culture, moving their culture with their words and their actions. He felt offended by that. That's all he was saying. He said, I felt offended and I felt it was like towards me. Even though that couldn't have been towards him, he just felt a sense of being attacked. But it wasn't like in a sense that he wasn't not trying to educate or learn, in which this young intelligent woman was saying. That's not what the case was at all. He was really just being transparent and saying, people look at him, and from what his background is and his music, he really stands for a lot, especially what we're going through in our Black community. But what really blows me and blows my mind, the fact that J. Cole, he pushes the narrative, and he stays controversial in his music, but it's a good controversial because he's questioning our Black community and what we can do better and what we can do more and how we can improve, or just educating us in general. And one of these, in one of his albums and projects called For Your Eyes Only, which got really bad reviews, and bad reviews to the people that just want to be yes man, just have comments and be like, oh, well, this is too slow. I can't deal with this type of music. But guess what? You're not trying to listen. You're not trying to educate yourself. You're not trying to learn. You're just trying to listen to the beat, and you're just trying to listen to something that crank and just vibrate to your soul, and you go in the club and party with. That's not what music, and that's not what it's all about at the end of the day. He's connecting to his roots, because the For Your Eyes Only project was based upon Fruit Realization and him having a friend involved in a similar situation, if not that situation, and with his daughter having to live without a father, without her living without her father, and what she has to go through, and what she has to educate herself, because guess what? A police officer took his life, wrongfully took his life. And J. Cole has been educating ever since he got into the game about the Black community and how we can rise and how we can change, how we can educate, how we can push the narrative. So in this particular song, Snow on the Bluff, he was really just raising the question of, you're telling me all these things, as in No Names was just saying, like, we can do better. All these people, you don't see them, you don't hear from them until it's something related to them or music-wise. But what people didn't realize, J. Cole was on the front lines, and he's been on the front lines since Ferguson, if not before. And it's like, and in a sense, it's like kind of like, who are we to judge and who are we to say he's not doing his part? Who are we to say that? But guess what? In a song, he came on and was being transparent, even though all the things that he's done and to push the Black community within music and within doing himself and being about his actions, being hands-on within the community, he's been transparent and really saying, hey, look, let's throw it out on the table. I know how you paint me, I know how you look at me, but I'm not all well put together either. But guess what? I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to educate myself to being a better person. I'm willing to educate myself to doing something even better than what I'm doing, because I don't feel like I'm doing enough. And that's what J. Cole was just saying. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. But to the people that posed the question of, oh, well, what you doing that? So you can't be so strongly on somebody that doesn't know what's going on and kind of like, in the middle of how they want to view things. That's why we have our platforms to educate each other. Educate me. Within the Black community, we always having tempers raised and attitudes with one another. How about you just politely and let's have a conversation without disrespecting and agree to disagree some things and really talk and chalk this out and being transparent and taking accountability for your actions. And what I felt like this song was about, just being transparent and taking accountability for your actions. Even though J. Cole, he does a lot in the community from what we can see and from what he puts out there and what other people just see him out there doing. Guess what? It's more to be done. It's more he can educate himself on. It's more we can learn as one. So why, when he makes this type of music and make this type of sound, y'all giving him slack, but you have Duke, your mans, with the rainbow hair, he has 82 million views on a song during this time, and he just came from jail, coming out of jail, and people supporting him for what he did and ratting and whatever, how you feel about it on your views, but you'll give all that attention over there, but you'll have controversy and be mad at or not view what J. Cole is saying or not trying to understand, because that's not type of your lane of music. You don't want to hear in that way. But y'all only hear what y'all want to hear. A lot of y'all are tone deaf, and a lot of y'all are yes man. And it's sickening, and I'm tired of having to see it because y'all just be in the comments trying to follow what everybody else is saying. I'm totally opposite and totally different because I don't want to follow what everybody else is saying. I don't want to do that. At the end of the day, I want to see things for what it is and make my opinion and make my own opinion about whatever that is. So I just feel like we really need to get it together as a community. You have Lil Baby who dropped an amazing song. Visuals was amazing. He's next up and coming great artist. He's going to be a great artist. And then you have Tiana Taylor that dropped a beautiful body of work. It's called The Album. Tiana Taylor, just beautiful body of work. Then you have Wale, who doesn't get his just due of respect. He's going to be one of the GOAT MCs when it come down to it because of how amazing and transparent he's been in his music and pushing the narrative within his music. And his EP, The Imperfect Storm, just came out, what I feel like a lot of people need to listen to. But guess what? We're not talking about that. We're more focused on Duke and what he got going on with Rainbow Hair and doing that and the antics and crazy beats and stuff like that. The information that you take in is very, 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 very important. And it's very important to use your platform for positive if you want change and if you want change to happen. Don't just talk about it and tweet and talk about other celebrities and what they should be doing. What are you doing? I challenge you. What are you doing? And people could challenge me and say, what am I doing? But guess what? I'm on my platform talking to you guys, trying to educate you guys and also learn. I'm also trying to be taught. I want to be teachable as well. I want to be able to listen. I want to be able to have feedback and somebody talk to me and educate me as well. And I'm also out there protesting and out signing petitions. But I don't have to broadcast that all the time. But guess what? I can put that on my platform so others can be involved too. Instead of just talking about what this other person that should be doing. When they're actually doing something. What are you doing? So I just challenge us as a community to really challenge each other and educate each other and learn from one another. And being transparent and taking accountability. And I feel like J. Cole, no matter what people think about the song, he's pushing the narrative. He's being transparent. He's looking for change. He's trying to educate. He's trying to learn. So look in the mirror and say, what can you be doing? That's what it really comes down to. It's not, oh, he's talking bad about women and he's doing that. No, he's really just putting himself he's really putting himself out there to be judged. What are you going to do? Feel me? So I just had to get it out on my chest. That really bothered me because we take in a lot of stuff that really has no importance. But during the most important time, you're looking to judge somebody who's been about the culture, who's been pushing the black community and looking and inspiring change. Yeah, okay. Look at yourself in the mirror. So do your research. And this is what this episode is about, doing your research and also doing my research as well. I didn't know this and this just came up and I was just really awed about it, but it's crazy. Beethoven was a black man. And it goes to show that him putting face paint on and putting powder on to make himself seem lighter, it goes to show you that we've been systematically oppressed for a long, long time. And he wanted to change in his appearance really based on the fact that these opportunities wouldn't be presented to him if he was black. And that's the saddest part about this and most eye-opening part about it because he didn't want to appear to be black. You didn't hear this unless you did your research or knew about this for a long time. This happened a long time ago. So it just goes to show that we need to do our research, that we need to really educate our youth, and we need to really write down some things for the board. It's very important to vote locally and really get on these type of boards and really just try to make change and especially our children being taught the wrong history. These books need to be updated. We need to start talking about financial literacy, how to write a checkbook, how to do your taxes. We need to understand and start educating the youth about this because Another thing as well, racism is taught. And that is taught within the school system as well when you're talking about slavery and what these people did and the color of people's skin. But you're not telling the facts of what happened and you're changing the narratives of what happened. It baffles me that there's so many Karens and Kens in this world, but all they had to do is really just do their research, even if they're in denial or not. Do your research and you'll surprise yourself. Because the picture painted on us being thugs and animals, yeah, okay. 400 years oppressed by one race. Who's really to be judged right here? Who's really to be looked at? You think we tired? We beyond tired. We beyond tired. Like for real. And then one thing I else challenge is my next segment and next topic is I challenge us as a black community. And this is one of the most important topics I'm going to talk about today. Colorism in the black community. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to give you guys not even a history lesson or anything because I'm no less or no more better than you or more educated than you. But I really urge you guys to really understand this. We've been oppressed for a long time. And when our ancestors were enslaved, it was so-called a house Negro and a field Negro. So with this being said, and this is how the separation of the light skin, dark skin, brown skin thing really started. And it's still continuously going on today. So you're telling me something within our community is still going on from a white man who was a master at the time made you think that just because you were in the house and this person was on the field, that y'all were different or not equal than each other when you both are still black, male or female, still enslaved. They are teaching you to think a certain way about your own kind. And that happens to this day. It still happens. In Chicago, 102 people were killed during this weekend. Can you explain it? That comes from back then. You want to know why? Because we look at each other as enemies. When the white man has systematically oppressed us for so long to thinking a certain way, to acting a certain way, to looking at each other as not brothers and sisters, but as enemies. We're fighting the same fight. And if you haven't seen the Django, it doesn't matter the color of your skin to want to be the master's best friend or the master's step-on buddy or be one of the master's right hands. You were enslaved. We had to go through that. We're the same people. We're fighting the same fight. And I'm going to tell you this. No, it is not fair for a light-skinned person to look down upon a dark-skinned person. No, it is not fair for a dark-skinned person to look upon a light-skinned person. We are all in this together. You think the color of my skin is light because we chose that? You think that happened because we chose it? No, our ancestors were getting raped. Let's put it out there on the table. We're getting raped by the white man to create the pigment skin that we have while we were enslaved. So you think that our color and us being the same race is the problem here? Instead of attacking each other, you should be attacking the oppressor. And you should be trying to figure out different narratives and different ways how we can overcome. Because guess what? This is still present to this day. It is systematically oppression. We have been systematically oppression with colorism, with police brutality, with our communities, having a liquor store right next to the church in these projects and communities. You think that just so-called happened? No, that was put there. You were put in those situations for that to happen. Let's be mindful. We are not thy enemy with each other. We are thy enemy with who is against us and who has been oppressing us and stopping us from our freedom and stopping us from our rights and stopping us from our justice. So when you look at your brother and sister next time, light skin, dark skin, brown skin, we're fighting the same fight. Be mindful and be smart about it. Because you're quick to go against the grain. But when it's time to really start standing out and really start standing up for what we believe in, you're shying away. You're not using your platform for any type of good. You want to show off your tail. You want to show off your jewelry. You want to show off your little income money. Man, please. What are you going to do to push the narrative? What are you going to do for us to overcome and have our own economy and have our own and build our own infrastructures? You keep shopping at Gucci. You keep shopping at all these other places. But guess what? What do we have in place? But you complain about a $30, $40, $50 hat, shirt, jewelry, or pants from a black-owned company, but you buying $250, $300 shoes, cuz. Make it make sense, cuz it don't. And I'm serious. Stop looking at your brothers and sisters and worrying about their skin color, because guess what? We all, at the end of the day, we all, we want to be treated equal. We want to be treated equal, right? So let's treat our brothers and sisters the same way. You looking at them funny because they light, darker, or browner than you? Is you foolish? You're a part of the problem. You're a part of the problem. Yeah, all the stigmas, all the stereotypes. Oh, he light skinned, he do this, cut it out. He dark skinned, he do this. Or she's dark skinned, she can't do that. Man, our black is beautiful regardless. Regardless of anything. Because our culture is vibrant. Without us, yeah, all right. Without us, imagine what America would look like. But guess what? They killing us like we animals. They killing us like pigs. They gutting us like fish. But yet you want to argue with your brother and sister. Man, step up to the plate and do something. And use your platform for something. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. We look stupid. We look stupid at the end of the day, and that's why a lot of these people that have oppressed us for years look at us in this way too. So I urge the black community to step up too with one another and treating each other like brothers and sisters. Let not this just be the moment that we do it. Let this be throughout the whole lifetime and generation through generations and from now on. Because I'm tired of fighting with the same brothers and sisters. Walking down the street, mean mugging each other for what? For what? What do we have against each other? When we could be building upon something and being better. Don't get me wrong. It's white on white crimes. It's other races, white or Spanish, whatever you want to say. But guess what? That has to stop. It has to. In order for us to move anywhere, it has to stop. So stop looking at your brothers and sisters and worried about the color of their skin when you dislike and hate when these other races that don't mess with us look at you in a certain way because of the color of your skin. Stop looking at your brothers and sisters that way so we can move forward and overcome. Point blank, period. Make sure that you save that and note that down. If you lack in understanding, and really this podcast is just for educating and learning, man. I have a lot to learn too, but I can also educate and use my platform for something good. So listen and hear me out when I'm talking. I'm no better, I'm no less than, I'm no more than. But I want us as a community to come together. Pushing the narrative. So, man, on to the next, man. I love you guys. I love all of us. Our black is beautiful, man. Let's treat each other how we want to be treated. Point blank. So, lastly, man, shake it up a little bit. Would you rather be told a pretty lie or the ugly truth? I mean, I understand that it may be an obvious cliche question for you to say, but my opinion, I say the ugly truth. I would love to be told a pretty lie, but the ugly truth, at the end of the day, you're going to tell me what I need to know and what I need to hear. And really what we all need to start doing, and what everybody can attest to, everybody has lied before. But the truth is always going to come out. Darkness always comes to light. So you telling the truth is just really you never know, gaining more respect for one another and gaining more respect for yourself and for the person that you're telling the truth to. Because you had to be transparent. You had to be accountable for your actions, because if you're not accountable for your actions, guess what? Karma is always going to be there for you. It's always going to be there. It's not going anywhere. It's not. So in this situation, not even saying situation, in this question, I would say the ugly truth. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be told a lie. It may be pretty as it may be. What's dark always comes to light. So, man, I love you guys, man. I love you guys. I love having this platform. I love speaking. This is what I love to do. And I'm not just speaking out of my tail. I want us to really start making change and really start doing things that matter and moving forward in the culture, in our communities. Let's do it. The fight is not over. It has just begun. Let's be the bridge. Let's rewrite history. Let's do it. Hey, lastly, man, make sure you go get that. That's merch, man. It will be below, man. Make sure you go shop Black-owned businesses. Mine is well handcrafted jewelry, bracelets, necklaces, waist beads. Hey, man, we into it. So, man, I love you guys, listeners and viewers, man. Tune in every Thursday, 5 p.m., man. YouTube channel, IGTV. We there, man. All social media platforms, man.